When this news hit the timeline, I had to make sure that my eyes weren't deceiving me. Bayern have finally signed a player during this transfer window. Now, I know that they got Jonathan Tah from Bayer Leverkusen on a free deal, but you guys know what I mean. Because this summer window has been terrible for an elite club like Bayern. They've been getting rejected left and right. They've been having bids not go through. It seemed like players didn't really buy into whatever project Bayern are trying to sell. And we know that it all started when the deal fell through for Florian Wirtz, right? Nobody thought he would end up at Liverpool. We all thought he'd end up at Bayern. And then since they missed out on him, it's just been downhill from there. But they finally gotten that left winger that they've been chasing for about a month now. And Luis Diaz from Liverpool is an upgrade over what they currently have, but I'm still iffy on how I rate this transfer. But I need you guys to get in the comment section and let me know what you think about Luis Diaz heading to Bayern. Do you like it or do you not? Because I think he is a good player, right? Luis Diaz is not a scrub. But when I'm looking at the price that they paid for him, I don't know if he's going to be able to elevate them to the level of being serious Champions League contenders, right? Bayern are going to dominate in Germany, right? They win the Bundesliga 98% of the time. Like, no other team is really a threat for them domestically. But we rate Bayern similar to how we look at PSG. You can win all the domestic trophies, but it's what you do in the Champions League that the neutral people actually care about. And when I look at a player like Luis Diaz, yes, he does have good qualities, and I think he will be a good player for them, but I don't view him as a guy that's going to help them win the Champions League. Like, this signing doesn't move me like that. But we know that Bayern, they did need to upgrade that left wing because what they had on that side was not good enough. And when you look at it, Leroy Sané has left, right? That guy fell off massively since he left Man City. I believe he's at Galatasaray. You have Serge Gnabry, who's still at the club. I believe Kingsley Coman is there as well. And those guys just are not good enough to be starting for Bayern week in, week out. So now you have Luis Diaz on that left wing. And I think he actually fits into what Vincent Kompany wants from his players because he does have good qualities, right? Like Luis Diaz, he's very technical, right? He can dribble the ball, can carry it off the ball. He works really hard. He presses. And I think the only thing in his game that I don't really rate is in the final third. Because we've seen him look really good with his scoring, with his playmaking, but it's inconsistent, right? And I think at Bayern, especially in the Bundesliga, he's going to be able to help them break down low blocks. And then he's going to do, like I said, his work rate off the ball is pretty good. But 75 million... For me, I think Bayern could have gotten Rodrigo if they would have just waited, right? Rodrigo, to me, is the best left winger that is available on the market. It's been made very clear that Real Madrid would be open to buying him. So the fact that Bayern were not interested in Rodrigo, who's 4 years younger than Luis Diaz, to me is a better player and is more accomplished, is a bit weird. And when I'm looking at it from Luis Diaz's point of view, why the hell do you want to leave Liverpool for Bayern? Because currently, I view Liverpool as more attractive than Bayern München because Liverpool right now are having an amazing summer window. They're probably having the best summer transfer window in Europe. They've just got Ekitike. They signed Florian Wirtz, Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong, and it looks like they're going to get Alexander Isak as well. So I'm wondering, why didn't Luis Diaz want to be a part of that? That, to me, is a bit weird. Maybe you guys can get in the comment section and let me know because I'm seeing that his contract at Bayern is going to be like, 4 years, and they're going to be paying him like 14 million. Were Liverpool not trying to give him a new deal? Or were they not trying to offer him those kind of wages? I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can let me know. But Liverpool have, I think, done some great business here. And this deal did look like it was going to be shaky to get done because I think Bayern had like 2 bids rejected. And I'm thinking, shit, here we go again, right? Bayern are about to miss out on another target. But then the deal gets over the line. And like I said, it does upgrade their left wing, but I don't know if it's a good enough deal to push them forward in the UCL, right? That's just kind of how I view it. And I also think that Bayern need to go out there and sign another attacker, more so a 10, because we saw that Jamal Musiala got that injury in the Club World Cup against PSG. How long is he going to be out for, right? What, 4 or 5 months, if that? I didn't really look into how long he's going to be gone for, but they are going to be missing Jamal Musiala for a decent portion, if not this entire season, right? So their attack still does need some help. And again, I don't know where they're going to go after this, right? Like I said, they can use another midfielder, more so in the attacking position. I think they also do need some help defensively because their back line is not good in my opinion. Alphonso Davies is still recovering from that torn ACL. Saka Bowie, you also have like Conrad Leimer. These guys are scrubs. And I don't rate Jonathan Tah like that. I don't think Jonathan Tah at the moment is just good enough. I mean, for me, especially with the way that company likes to play that high line, Jonathan Tah is slow as shit. This guy is like watching an 18-wheeler try and make a U-turn. He takes forever. Like my grandmother would beat him to a through ball. Jonathan Tah is very slow. And I think Bayern look very, weak at the moment, right? Like when I first got into football, I was used to seeing Bayern win every trophy. I was used to seeing Bayern look like one of the best teams in Europe. And they've fallen off. And I think players have noticed that. And this is why they've been having a hard time getting players through the door. Like, if you look at what Bayern's been going through, like the last 2 seasons, for example. Initially, remember, after they sacked Thomas Tuchel, they couldn't get any manager that wanted to come. They had to go to Burnley and get a manager in Vincent Kompany who just got relegated. And then if you look at this summer window, right? Again, like I said earlier, it all started when Florian Wirtz rejected them. Then they went after Nico Williams. He rejected them. They tried to get, who else? Like Xavi Simons. It looks like he's rejected them because he wants to go to Chelsea. They were trying to sign another striker to back up Harry Kane. What's the guy's name from Stuttgart, is it? Nick Waltemade, I think? That guy is like 6'7", by the way. He needs to go pick up a basketball. But anyways, it doesn't look like that deal is going anywhere. They tried to go after Jamie Gittins. He rejected them. Went to Chelsea. I'm telling you, if you're a Bayern fan, you know how shit this window has been. But I mean, look, Luis Diaz, 75 million. I think it's a slight overpay because I don't think he's all that. But when you look at the left wing market, it's a bit dead at the moment. Like, there's not that many good left wingers that are available. And if you're Bayern, right, you had to get somebody through the door. And I think Luis Diaz, he is one of the better ones that was available. But Liverpool, they played hard, right? They didn't want to sell him initially, but then they finally caved in. Again, I wonder why Luis Diaz wanted to leave. I need somebody to get in the comment section and let me know. But I do want to read the tweets that did drop concerning this news. Now, Fabrizio Romano, he dropped it. Here we go. And he says that Bayern have reached a full agreement to sign Luis Diaz from Liverpool. Here we go. 75 million euro package agreed, and authorization for medical also confirmed. Lucho wants to leave. Liverpool accept the conditions, and Diaz will now sign a 4-year deal at Bayern. Now, this ITK that I always look at, that's very reliable, he's come out and said that Luis Diaz is set to join Bayern. Bayern Munich have reached a total agreement with Liverpool for the transfer of Luis Diaz in a deal worth 75 million, 70 M's fixed plus 5 M's in bonuses. Yeah, the bonuses are probably super easy, like win the Bundesliga. Oh, if Luis Diaz scores like 10 goals. It's something like that more than likely. Also says Luis Diaz will be signing a 4-year contract until June 2029 with a salary worth around 14 million per season, including add-ons and bonuses. As informed, deal was very advanced. Now an agreement is officially reached. Liverpool set to make a big move. Yeah, and look, they're saying that this Luis Diaz move for Liverpool could end up being what gets them the funds to get over the line for Alexander Isak, which is crazy. Paperwork and documentations have started. Medical scheduled for the next days. Luis Diaz joins Bayern Munich. Done deal, and let's go. Huge transfer, right? Bayern have finally woken up in the transfer market. They have addressed a position that they need. And let's see how Luis Diaz does for them. Again, I think he'll be a decent player for them. I don't think he'll be world class. I don't think he'll have the same impact as Olise has. But I do think it is an upgrade over what they currently have been using, even though that might not be saying much. But now look, very technical player, decent on the ball, can create chances. His finishing, though, very up and down, right? And the guy is versatile. He can play left wing. He can also play as a center forward like we saw at Liverpool as well. So, they'll be able to do some different things with him. But now look, decent deal. If I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I think it's just above average signing, right? I think Bayern should have definitely been using these funds to go in for Rodrigo. That's just me personally. But I want to know what you guys are saying. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications.